Hi. So, are you the type of person that takes things personally? Do you get offended when somebody says something that you don't particularly want to hear or like hearing? Or do you hurt quite easily? Are you quite sensitive? These things can be helped. Like these things don't have to be that way. The reason this is really hard. Putting this into words is really, really hard. I've written out the description. I done about 100 videos yesterday. I wrote out the description and I thought, you know what, I've got it now. And then I click play and I don't have it. I don't have it anymore and it just disappears. I do actually have a video and I might just post that video because it's relatively okay. It's not too bad. Taking things personally tends to be because there's something in somebody else's words, that person's words who said something to you that you don't like. There's something in their words that you believe, or you've heard too much before, or you don't like, or you haven't accepted of yourself. So many people in this world aren't really honest with themselves. Like it is your biggest defense against so many things. I don't like saying against depression or anxiety or anything because I'm not one that's actually went through depression or anxiety. I do believe I'm someone that's been on the verge of these things, have kind of noticed it, have kind of questioned it, have kind of weighed up my options as to what if I do this, will this happen? If I stay in, will this happen? Like, what's my best way out of it? If you are the type of person that takes things personally, you need to start questioning why. Everything in this world needs questioned, I think. Everything that you're not sure on, or I can't do this, or I don't have the choice for this, like question everything and be honest with yourself. Because if you're not honest with yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you're not honest with yourself, you're never going to change the things that you don't like because you don't want to admit it. Now, you don't need to admit things that you don't like to anybody else. You don't need to get approval from anybody else in this world. Like, you are your own person. That is the only person you need approval of. And if you're not getting that approval because you don't accept it and you don't say it, you don't want to say it out loud, you don't want to hear it. And I've been there. I've been in places where I don't want to hear things, or I don't want to accept it because I don't want it to be true, or I don't want to believe it of myself. Like, but see, when you do, you can change it. If you're sitting getting offended by something that somebody else is saying, by something that you feel's out of your control. Now, if this is truly out of your control, you shouldn't be getting offended by it because there's nothing you can do about it. So why get offended over something there's genuinely nothing you can do? Nothing. Like, it's done, it's dusted. Or if it's something out of your control, like, I don't know, the weather or something that's cropped up, or you've had to say that you can't make it to a friend because your child's not well, like, don't take these things personally if anybody says anything because it's out of your control. But you've got to be honest with yourself because there's a lot of things in our control that we can change that we don't change because we don't accept that's where we are. Now, we need to accept that's where we are. This is like the first, I think this is like the first step in changing anything, is accepting where you are and being okay with it. Not necessarily liking it. Like, if you're a lazy person or an unorganized person or an unmotivated person or an unhealthy person, or I don't know, a night owl or grumpy, like, if you're any of these things and you're happy being those things, accept it. Anybody else's opinion doesn't matter because that is their opinion. If you're happy with these things, then their opinion is tough, unless it's obviously somebody that you care about. But if it's somebody you care about, that is going to bother you, which means you're not going to necessarily like it. So you've got to do something about this. If it's something that you don't like, you have to do something about it because nobody else can change how you act or how you react or how, I don't know, what you choose to do, like, or how you take things. People in your life, good people, like people that are meaning well, I think, in my opinion, have got the right to say when they see that you're slacking or they see that you could be doing better in an area. Like, if the people around you that love you aren't able to be honest with you in case you're taking offense to things, how are they going to help you grow? Like that is their aim, like, is to help you grow, to help you maybe look at things a different way. I'm going to give you this example because a couple of years ago, it was maybe last year, maybe like 2 years ago, I actually asked my friends a few things that they thought I could maybe work on. Okay. Now, I always say I don't take things personally, like I don't get offended easily, and I generally don't get offended easily. I'm quite honest with myself. I know where my flaws are. Not all of them. Some of them I don't particularly like. I don't particularly know how to fix, so I do get a little bit defensive. I'm human. You're going to get a little bit defensive over some things, and that's absolutely fine. Accept it. One of the things that my friend had came back with me is that I was overly positive. Okay, overly positive, and it would be good just to be able to wallow sometimes without having somebody in their head being like, oh, like, look on the bright side and all of this. Now, I got slightly affected. I wasn't prepared, because this is something that I like about myself, and I wasn't prepared for that to be a negative in somebody else's life. Like, somebody that I loved, I wasn't prepared for that to be a negative in somebody else's life, because I didn't see it that way. So I got offended. It did hurt. I was like, oh my God, like, how, like, oh, that hurt. I didn't expect that. Like, I'm only trying to make things better for anybody else. And then I kind of stopped, because I was like, well, not everybody thinks like me. Okay, not everybody thinks like me. And I've genuinely, like, you've got a couple of options. Like, you can accept it or you can change it. Now, I decided to accept this one because my positive nature is something that I actually love about myself. Like, I actually love the fact that I can be quite positive in most areas. I do have down days. I do have days where I'm stressful and I'm a grumpy buttbone, but I'm generally a really positive person. So I accepted it. I don't want to change it. So I accepted it. I accepted that that was her opinion of me, and I accepted that that's okay, because it's okay for people to have opinions on you. Like, they're going to have opinions on you. Whether you think it's okay or not, they're going to have opinions on you. That's not something that you can change. Now, I'd asked for opinions, and this is what I got. I did take offence to it. I didn't want to change it. I have noted it, so for, like, in future, if something's going on in her life, I might tone down my positivity a little bit, because I love her and I don't ever want her to feel like, ugh, here she goes again. But I accepted that that's her view on it. And I think if I wasn't completely honest with myself, I probably would have went and argued with her, or went and got, like, super annoyed or anything like that. And I'm a little bit worried about putting this on here, because I know, like, she's one of my subscribers and she might be like, oh, you said you weren't annoyed. Technically I didn't. I did say it got to me, but I was okay now. But yeah, if you're taking things personally, question these things. Question them, and then you've got three options with them. Okay, you can accept it. You can accept, I'm this type of person. I'm happy being this type of person. If you don't like it, that's okay, because you're allowed your opinion. Okay, so you can accept it. You can change it. Okay, if this is something that somebody's saying to you and you're a little bit like, oh, well, hold on, like, that's hurtful. Like, okay, I might be a little bit lazy, or I might be unmotivational or unorganized, or I might let people down or unreliable. If you don't like the fact that these things are true, change it. Do something about it. Change it. The other thing is, and I don't know if this really fits in, depends on the relationship. So if, and this is going quite long now, so if somebody's saying stuff to you constantly and being really negative and really mean about it and not looking for your best interest at heart, like, that is one of the things. Like, people that are saying things that are hurtful to you or that you're taking personally, have they got your best interest at heart? If they have, listen to it, question it. If they haven't, listen to it, question it, know that that's on them. That's their opinion, and how they're acting towards you is on them. And if it's too much, your third option is get rid of that person. If there's somebody in your life that's being super, super negative, that's always putting you down, that's always stealing all your energy and making you feel like utter crap, your third option is to get rid of that person out of your life. Because if they're not in your life to benefit it, why are they in it? Everybody in your life should be in it to benefit it. Not every day, all day, not at all, but generally, like, they need to be bringing some happiness to you, or they don't really deserve it. I've waffled my first video was like 5 minutes, so I am a bit like, should I put up my first video or should I put up this video or should I put up both? I don't really want to put up both. I'm gonna go. Have an awesome day. I did watch some other videos on taking things personally because I did worry about saying this in case people took offence to it. But they generally say the same thing, so it kind of gave me a bit of confidence to go and do it. I'm going to put the links to this videos below. I'm going to see you on Sunday. I might go do a little video as to how I got to this point today for Sunday. I don't know. I'm going to go because the time is ticking. Tick tock, ciao.